Hey everyone, this is Adam H. Cole, your money and relationships expert and financial relationship counselor, and I'm back with another weekly Wednesday video on the topic of money and relationships. Now, I'm actually recording this for a second time, and the video today is on how to talk about money with your boyfriend or with your husband, with the men in your life. And the reason I'm re-recording it is because the first time around I spoke almost like an outside observer, and I kind of had my little structure of what I wanted to talk about, and I hit on those points. And then as I was starting to watch it back, I realized, you know what? I wanted to share with you a bit more about my experiences as a man and how that might be helpful for you in connecting with any other men or male partners you might have in your life. So, you know, as a young boy, I've been remembering this story recently of being in Little League, and I was about to be the starting pitcher, and I was warming up, and I practiced my different pitches. For those of you who are baseball fans, I threw like a four-seamer rising fastball, a two-seamer sinking fastball, and a changeup. And I remember going to the kind of little cutout window in the dugout, and my dad came over, and I was talking with him about how I felt throwing my changeup, my fastball, my sinker. And then the guy who was the best athlete on the team and the biggest human and also the biggest bully, he mocked me as I walked away, like, "Oh, my sinker's doing okay." And, I can't be certain why, but what felt like to me is he was policing me as far as like, oh, like, don't ask for help. That's not a thing that men do. Like, what's wrong with you? And there's so many different examples of this in my life and in everyone's lives about how people just uphold these yucky ways of being for men, that we have to be so stoic and invulnerable. We're not allowed to show any feelings or emotions or have wants or needs or ask for support. And if that's really honestly working for you in your life, then keep on doing it. For me, that left me unable to speak my truth. It left me feeling closed off, keeping things from people. It just doesn't work. And what I stand for is having these money conversations, not just be let's not fight about money, but how can we deepen our self-understanding and our connections to other people, have more intimacy, more partnership, more vulnerability in our lives and relationships. And, men, because of how we're socialized, this is really the key thing in how to talk to men about money, is recognizing how we're socialized and the gender norms that exist. Because even if you and or your partner reject those norms, they're still there in our subconscious. For me, I'm 32 years of being taught that I need to be strong and stoic, that I shouldn't share what's on my mind, that I need to be somehow the dominant one, and that I need to be earning all the most of the money in a relationship, and my value is on how much money I make and my prestige and how well I can take care of my woman and my children, right? And I say my woman and like my children kind of in quotes, but just kind of as far as that's the messaging that we get. And so in my experiences, anytime something comes up that feels like we may not be fulfilling on what we think we ought to be as men, we can be ashamed and maybe show up as defensive. And so this is going to be essential for you to consider and trying to talk to your boyfriend or husband or fiance or whatever it is, but your male partner, and understanding where they came from and how they've been socialized as a man, if wherever they grew up. And there's a lot of similarities, I think, probably around the world, although maybe not every culture, but kind of the patriarchal mindsets are supposedly very common and all across the world. And so you're going to want to keep this in mind, as well as his own unique experiences. And so what it's really going to take for you, this may not be fair. And particularly for those of you out there who are women and have male partners, you're often being asked to carry more of the weight of emotional labor. And so from a fairness perspective, you can be like, "Hey, Adam, that's not fair. I don't want to do that." And if so, that's fine, right? But if you are committed to your partner, and this is an area where they struggle to have healthy communication, then you're going to want to bring these things to the table, understanding how he's been socialized, and to the extent you already know, his history and how he may have been burned around money or learned some weird lessons, and whatever his baggage is, because we all have baggage related to money. Everyone watching this video, I certainly do. And do your best to keep coming back and giving him a safe space to share what's going on with him. And so a couple of the ways that you want to do this to make sure you maximize the chance for that space, right, is there's two steps. One is to do your own work, look inward, write out your thoughts and feelings, look at your own relationship to money and examine that and see what gets you defensive and what has you be reactive, so that if that happens, then you won't have to fall into that. So let's say you say something that triggers your husband and then it shows up as defensive. In that mode is when we usually start butting heads and everybody says things that they don't really feel good about and might regret later. So learning your own reactivity and what's going to set you off so that you can stay grounded and manage that in the conversation is going to be huge. And secondly is just to keep that stuff in mind that you learned about him and where he's coming from. And typically what I recommend here is to frame things positively where possible. So you want to share the impact that it's been having on you, that maybe you haven't been talking about money or you've been fighting about money, or maybe you're struggling and you have a lot of debt, whatever is the situation, you'll want to share a little bit about that for sure, so that he knows this is a serious conversation and that you want to have it. And at the same time, think about, well, why do I care about all of this? What is it that I want with this person, right? Presumably, if they're your partner, you want to have a great life with them, especially if you're looking at this as a long-term relationship. And so, talk about that. Look, I really want to have a powerful life and relationship with you. I want to be able to fulfill our dreams, go take all those trips, right? And right now I'm a little bit anxious about our money situation. When do you think would be a good time to talk about that, right? And I love that last question. When do you think would be a good time to talk about it? You're saying that this is a must-have conversation, and you're also giving him the space to say, and he can pick the time rather than you just telling him, hey, we need to talk now, right? Which doesn't always go well. So that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this take better than the first one, although you didn't get to see the first one. And, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to link to something I've created down below. It's my free gift to you, a guide called How to Start the Money Conversation with Your Man Without Biting Each Other's Heads Off. So there's definitely some overlapping material there and a bit more for you to grab a hold of to just get the conversation going. And so go ahead and click that link in the description below, and I'll put it in the comments as well. And thanks again for watching. Please go ahead and share in the comments whatever you got out of this video, however you could see this impacting you. And if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Please share these videos on social media. And would love it if you subscribe to my channel. I put up videos every week on the topic of money and relationships. And I'm about to start doing longer formats where I'm interviewing experts in their own field and in their community. And we're going to talk about their particular issue and how it intersects with money and relationships, so that you can be more empowered around things like buying a house or investing in the stock market or whatever that is, and doing that in a healthy way with deep partnership with your significant other. So again, thanks for watching. I'm Adam H. Cole with AHK Coaching, your couples financial counselor and money and relationships expert. And if you're interested in working with me, I'll put that link in the description below as well. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.